It's lovely to see you again.
It's so good to see you.
Our first session, we did a chakra clearing to address emotional healing.
Yeah.
And you got really amazing success from that. And then during that session, we identified that after the emotional release, we wanted to address your physical symptoms.
Yes, because I had a lot of tightness in my lower back. You're going to hear background noises from the dogs. I had a lot of tension in my lower back because that's where I don't breathe all the way down. I stop the breath here, and so there's tension, and then I had back surgery, and so there's just a lot stored in my lower back. And then after, I've been trying to figure out how to move, like how can I move so that it doesn't hurt, and what exercises should I do so that it supports, and I've been trying to analytically figure this out. And then we had a session, and all of a sudden I could touch my toes and lean and move, and I found myself dancing and listening to music again. I've been listening to a lot of music and just like dancing around the house, and doing other fun activities that are physical.
You mean intimate?
Yes, intimate activities have started happening again, and it's
so it's enhanced your intimate relations.
Yeah, which haven't even been a thing for 4 years, and then suddenly were. Because
so there's also more pleasure in the body.
Yeah, playfulness. Lots of playfulness.
And where does the fibromyalgia fit in?
I don't know what you're talking about anymore. Because the pain, like the achy joints and the foggy muscles and the cloudy brain, it's just not there.
So before the session, you would call it fibromyalgia,
Yeah.
right? And you had it since you were a teenager?
Yes. And now it's not there, and it doesn't even matter. Last night I ate pita chips, which are wheat, and normally that would set off like a fibromyalgia storm. And my daughter even said, my 8-year-old was like, "Mom, that's wheat." And I was like, "I know, I can have a little bit." And I ate a bunch of wheat chips with, hi Dougie. I ate a bunch of wheat chips with garbanzo. What's the garbanzo bean thing?
Hummus.
Hummus. I don't get to have hummus and pita chips ever.
So not only did our physical healing session eliminate the fibromyalgia pain and stiffness, now you can eat what you want and it doesn't activate it.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah. I didn't have a wheat reaction. Like normally I'd be in bed, puffy, pain. Yeah. My gut would be on fire right now. I'd be having horrible acid reflux.
So it sounds like it addressed your gut issues as well.
Yeah.
And
I ate a ton of the pita chips. I ate half the bag last night.
So you didn't even realize?
No.
Wow, interesting. Okay, so...
It's so great.
So ever since our session, the low back stiffness...
It's just not there.
It's just not there.
Do
the
all kinds of...
The fibromyalgia that you've lived with since you were a teenager is gone. And your gut issues.
I didn't realize, but yes.
Holy shit.
And I've been to so many healers. Like, I've done whatever, all of it. I've done it all over the last 20 years.
And I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if a healing session could actually remove all that pain, stiffness, and fibromyalgia that you've had for so long.
Well, what's interesting is you just would intuitively work, because it was obvious in the first session that you worked intuitively, because you intuitively went to the spots where trauma had happened.
And you said in the first session?
In the first session. You intuitively went to spots where trauma had happened.
Yeah.
And then in the second session, I don't know, because I went somewhere else. I fell asleep or I was in a meditative state. But I remember it was like you intuitively were tapping into the spots that had
The trauma.
The aching.
Oh, the
aching, like the physical aching for I don't know what reason.
So I went directly to the areas that did give you the aches and pains.
Yeah. So the first time around, it was like where I had experienced, like there had been trauma and that part of my body had like tightened up or been affected. And then the second session was, that was the part of my body that was aching for some reason. Like you went right to my back. You went to my belly, but you were working on my back. Yeah. And then I flipped over and you were working on my back, but I didn't tell you anything about my back or my knees.
So you didn't tell me where to go.
No.
But intuitively, I knew where to go.
Yeah. Yeah. My knees, my joints, my back. Yeah.
Okay. And you would say that to get to your, to really be able to get to the physical pain, we needed to first remove the emotional pain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And why? Because the emotional pain is...
at the root of it in some way.
At the root of it in some way, and occupied my mind in some way, so that I didn't have, like, my mind wasn't racing with thoughts the second time around. This time, we're going to do a third session, and this time my mind is racing with thoughts, like my body's clear, but my mind has some past patterns that have been popping up. And
yeah, in the first session we addressed the most fundamental, lowest layer of your emotions from your childhood.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do a session that will address the next layer, which is from a more recent event, your previous marriage. Right.
So, yeah, that makes sense. It's more recent, and it's been, popping up into my thoughts. I guess it pops up into my body as well. Yeah, I hold my breath. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because I don't go into it knowing where you'll focus in. So and you don't either.
No.
Because when you go to a massage therapist, you say, like, I'm really tight right here, so work here and work here. But, like, we go in, and I have no idea where you're going to focus, but it ends up being the right spot.
Yeah. I just allow it to happen through me.
And it does.
All right, so we'll see what happens next.
Okay.